It was a Friday night. Jane and I were going out to dinner. When we got to the restaurant and were seated, the waitress came over and asked, "Would you ladies like something to drink?" I said, "I would like some sweet tea." Jane replied that she would like some too. She then turned to me and said, "Why did you not correct the waitress when she said you ladies?" I told her that I know that sometimes because my hair is if a woman's and that I am small for a man I am often called a lady, miss or even madam. I am referred to as a woman so much that it is just easier to let people believe whatever they want and respond to them as they have decided. She then went into a rage saying that I shaved my face so that the waitress would think I was a woman. I told her that I was not trying to make myself more feminine, I just felt like shaving. After dinner on the way to drop off Jane, she was still upset. She went into another rage saying that she never heard me tell the waitress that I was really a man. She went on to say that by not telling the waitress, I was really trying to pass myself off as a woman. She was still upset when I pulled into the driveway at her house. I tried to speak but I could not find the words. I started let the hair on my face grow out. I thought that by doing this Jane would not be so mad. It seems to work as she did not appear to be as upset. I however was beginning to get very uncomfortable when I thought about her opinion concerning my shaving of my face. I started to think, what if I was to really try to make myself more feminine? After all, Jane believed that just by shaving, I was trying to pass myself off as a woman. A list of what I would need to do to really make myself more feminine is what is called for. 1. Removal of all hair on face as well as body. Shaving is one way, but waxing would be better. 2. Clothing, shoes, a purse and fake breasts. 3. A trip to beauty parlor to have ears pierced, brow arch and nails. 4. Makeup and help to apply. I know what I need to do. I started to get what I would need over the next 2 weeks. I started on number 2 on my list. I went to the shoe store. I knew that I would need high heels. I asked the clerk if she could help me. She came over and said, "I would be glad to help you. What would you like?" I said, "I am looking for a pair of open-toed, ankle-strap platform high heels." She said, "Yes, we have what you want. What color and size?" I replied black, and I have no idea what size I wear. She replied, "We will just have to size your feet." She got her foot sizer and told me that I wear a size 7 ladies shoe. She said, "I'll be right back with what you need." When she returned, she had 2 pair of heels for me to look over. The first pair was a 4-inch thick heel with only 1-inch platform, the second pair had a 5.5-inch slender heel and a platform of 1.5-inch. I said, I liked the higher pair of high heels better than the lower pair of high heels. She helped me put on the heels, then asked me if I've ever tried to walk in high heels. I replied no, I don't even know if I can stand in these heels. She told me she would help me stand and to walk over to the mirror. I almost fell, but she kept me from falling and helped me over to the mirror. I said, "Wow, I really like these, I feel taller." She said, "You should, you're almost 6 inches taller." I turned to get a better look at the side view and almost fell again. I asked her, "Does it get easier to stand and walk in high heels?" She replied, "The only way to get better is to wear the heels as much as you can. Practice is the only way to get better at wearing heels. Wear them around the house, put them on when you get home and wear them till you go to bed. Do this every day and you will get better at standing, walking and sitting. If you're going to wear slacks you can wear knee-high hose or pantyhose, but you should wear pantyhose with a dress or skirt." I thanked her for her help and paid $25 for the heels, $2.50 for a pack of 3 knee-highs and $2.95 for a pair of pantyhose. As I was driving home, I realized that it would take time and money to finish my list. Well, I really could use the time to practice walking in my new high heels. I like the sound of that, my new high heels. Usually, on Monday night I would go over to Jane's house, but not tonight. I called Jane and told her that I felt tired from work and just wanted to spend the night at home resting. Now, I could not wait to get home and put my heels on and spend the night learning to walk. When I got home, I put my new shoes in my room and went to the kitchen to say hi to Scott. Scott is my best friend from high school. We shared the top floor of a house, each having a bedroom to ourselves. I started to grow my hair out when I was 16 and in the 10th grade. At the end of the school year, my hair was just to the collar of a t-shirt. However, by the end of summer, my hair was down to the middle of my back. Scott made a comment about how long my hair had grown over the summer and that it was longer than most of the girls at school. He asked me if having long hair made some people think I was a girl. I replied that towards the end of summer more people have started to say that to me. At first, I would get mad, then I realized that they were right, and if I did not like the truth, I would have to cut my hair short to look more like a boy. So, I accept that to some people my long hair makes them think that I am a girl. Scott said, "Why not cut your hair?" I said, "I do not want to cut my hair. If by having my hair as long as a girl means that I look like a girl, I would rather look like a girl with long hair than cut it." Looking back at how this really started, I am amazed that it took this long for my hair to be a major issue with Jane. That's what it really comes down to, my willingness to look like a woman with long hair, rather than cut it short and look more like a man. For years later, I am now 20 years old and I am about to put on my new high heel shoes, try to walk to the kitchen and tell Scott that I am going to do what Jane has accused me of, trying to be more feminine with my appearance to pass myself off as a woman. It went better than I thought it would. Scott laughed and replied, "Just if you don't try anything with me." I told him not to worry, all I want to do is show Jane how much more I would have to do to be feminine enough to pass for a woman. Scott asked me how feminine would I be willing to be? I told him head to toe. It could have gone a lot worse, but in the end my best friend was still my best friend. I spent the rest of the night trying to get better at walking, sitting and standing in my heels. On my last trip from the kitchen down the hallway to my bedroom, and I did not have to keep myself from falling and made it to the bed. Okay, it was 12 trips over 3 hours and it was the first time I did not have an issue with balance, but still I am making improvement. This was after all my first time in high heels. Monday night, 3 days until payday. I know money will be tight. I looked down at my feet inside my high heels and thought that they looked good, but I knew that they would look great if I were to paint my toenails with a nice red color of nail polish. I could not wait for payday. I would be willing to do without lunch to buy some nail polish. I planned to stop at the store on the way home from work Tuesday. I went to bed eager to have the next day at work go by very fast, stop at the store to buy the nail polish and paint my toenails. The next day at work seems to be longer, but I knew that the wait would be worth it. At last it's quitting time. I got into my car with my next stop, the 5 and 10 store. After arriving at the store, I made my way to the cosmetic area. I started to look at the nail polish. There were a lot of reds. I finally decided to buy a ruby red. I selected that color because it was on sale with matching lipstick. I got lucky on that deal. I thought that I would go to the ladies' department and look at what they had to offer. I remembered that when Jane would drag me to shops with her, she would look at a lot of stuff and then not buy anything. If she could do that, then so could I. I could look and get the prices of anything that I liked and come back on payday. As I was browsing through the dresses, I heard the saleslady say, "May I help you, miss?" As I turned to look at her, she said, "When I saw you from your back, I thought you were a woman. Your hair is very long. Sorry." I said, "I get that a lot, and I know that from my backside I do look like I could be a woman, so it's okay." She asked, "Do you see anything you like?" I replied, "Yes, there are a couple of dresses that I like, but I really don't know the right size to get." Think fast, I thought to myself, then said, "My girlfriend and I, we are about the same height, we can wear each other's jeans," and I heard her say her bra size 34B. Does that help? She thought for a moment, then said, I think that if I take your waist and hip size, and then combine those two with her bra size, we should be able to arrive at a close dress size. I said, wow, you are good, let's do it. My hips were 36 inches and my waist were 28 inches, with Jane's bra size, she said. I believe that a size 5 to 6 dress would fit. I have another idea and we could be more accurate about the size if you are interested. I asked, what would that be? She said, if I measure your chest, and you are the same as your girlfriend, you could wear a bra with foam breasts, then you could try on the dresses, and really see if they would fit. That is if your size is a match. Do you want to try? I thought, what a great idea. If my size is the same as Jane's size, then I get to try on dresses. If not, I would find out what size bra I would need to buy. So, I said, that sounds fine to me. I found out that my bra size would be the same. We looked at the two dresses that I liked and found out that one of them was too big. The other one was the right size, so the sales lady grabbed it and a 34B bra with a package foam breasts. We went to the changing room, where she helped me into the bra, then inserted the foam breasts, and after I stepped into the dress she zipped me up. As I looked at myself in the mirror, I could not help but think that I would look good when I finished my list. The sales lady said, that dress looks good on you, it fits you well, so it should look fine on your girlfriend and fit her as well. As I looked at the dress in the mirror, it was a very purple floral print with 3/4 sleeve and came down to 4 inches above the knee. I really did not want to take it off, but I knew I would have to and hoped that it would still be here on payday. I told her that I was worried that when I got paid on Thursday this dress would be gone. She replied that the store had layaway and for $3 she could hold it for me. I told her that would be great. I took the dress off and handed it to her with $3 to put it on layaway. I gave her my name and told her to be sure that it did not get lost. As I was about to take the bra off, she said, I forgot that I was not supposed to open the foam breast and I can't put them back opened. Could you pay for them? She told me they cost $5. I replied that I could not pay for them and put the dress on layaway. She thought and then came up with suggestion I was not quite ready for. Leave the bra and foam breast on under my shirt and I pay for them when I return to pick up the dress. I put my shirt on and she told me wait in the changing room for her. I put my jeans on, tied my boots and looked at the breasts on my chest and thought, how can I leave this room? I look like a woman with too much facial hair. When she came back, she had a disposal razor and a washcloth. She told me that she was sorry to make me leave wearing the bra and foam breasts, but she would get in trouble for the open package, but if you shave your face you should have no problem. I thanked her for the razor and shaved my face. I grabbed the bag with my nail polish and lipstick, turned to leave and thanked her for all her help. She said, no problem, I make you leave looking more like a woman than when you came in, so thank you for keeping me out of trouble. If you need any more help, just ask. I said, there is something you could help me with. If I were to wear makeup, let's say to look better as a woman, for example, if I wanted to out to dinner in the dress I picked out and look sexy, what would I need? I have ruby red lipstick and nail polish that I bought. I was going to give it to Jane, but now I think I need it more. She said, cosmetics department, here we go. When we got to the cosmetics, she said, I would recommend honey beige base, medium power compact, light rose blush, black brow liner, black mascara, violet trio eyeshadow and jet black liquid eyeliner. I said, thank you, $35 to $40 is quite a lot of money. She explained that most women buy makeup a little at a time, but all the time. You would have to acquire your makeup at once. In the future you would be able to buy what you need a little at a time. She then asked me if the dress was really for me. After all the help she gave me, I did not want to lie to her, so I told her that the dress was for me. She wanted to know why I decided that I would buy a dress. I told her about how Jane accused me of something I really did not do. I told her all about it and then told her about my list. She asked when I planned to complete my list. I told her in almost 2 weeks on a Saturday. She said, "If you need help with your makeup, I would be glad to help you." I said, "I know I will need help with putting on makeup. I want to look my best, but if I were to do it by myself I would more than likely end up looking like a clown." She gave me her name, Gina Thompson, and phone number, and then said, "I can give you that sexy look you want." I said, "I will call you to arrange the time and place." I went home to do my toenails with ruby red nail polish and more practice in my heels. After parking the car, I grabbed the little shopping bag and went upstairs to the apartment that I shared with Scott. Scott was home and met me as I got to the top of the stairs. I was about to say hi when Scott said, "You really plan on turning yourself into a woman?" "What made you say that?" I asked. He said, "Look down at your chest, I mean your breasts." I looked down and said, "I forgot that I was wearing them. All I was thinking about was that I could not wait to do my toenails." I told him about my experience at the store and why I was wearing them. He said, "Okay, I understand why you felt like you had no choice and had to wear them out of the store. But, that you forgot that you were wearing them is amazing." I said, "I stopped to buy a pack of smokes, did not think twice when the man at the store called me miss when he handed me my change. I just thought that he judged me by my long hair. I guess that's when I forgot. I am so used to being thought of as a woman. Well, having breasts like a woman, even if they are fake, is something that I thought I would not forget. However, I must have thought that having breasts was normal. I am going to my room and do my toenails." Scott said, "Have fun." I went to my bedroom, looked at the mirror and saw my breasts sticking out, and I knew that I could grow to like having them. I did not want to take them off, so I did not. I took my boots and socks off, was about to start applying ruby red nail polish to my toenails and thought it would be better if I took my jeans off first as not to smudge the nail color before it was dry. It would be better to slow down and think, instead of rushing and still having to wait for the polish to dry wearing dirty work jeans. I took my jeans off and looked at my legs and thought that there are 10 days until I plan on waxing my body hair off, but I could shave my legs and enough hair would grow back. I wanted to see my legs hairless in pantyhose with ruby red toenails and my high heels. I put my bathrobe on over my t-shirt enlarged by my breasts and went to the bathroom to shave my legs. It took me a while to shave my legs, having never done it before, slowly and very careful as not to cut myself. I was, however, quite pleased with the result. I went back to my bedroom and painted my toenails. It took a while for the polish to dry enough for me to put on the pantyhose. That was a lot of fun. One would not think that they would stretch so much, but they did. I wished that I had a dress or skirt to wear, because I did not want to cover my legs with pants. I remembered that I had an old pair of jeans that had the knees almost ripped off, so I turned them into hot pants, very short to show off as much leg as I could. I put on my heels and looked at my handiwork in the mirror. I really liked the changes I have made. I was about to start my heel walking practice, when I remembered that both my ears are pierced. The summer I turned 18 I got a job racking balls. At a pool hall at the nearby beach town of Carolina Beach, I found an earring at a friend's place and asked, "Did you lose an earring?" She said, "The earring you found is the mate to the one I lost. Do you want it?" I said, "I'll take it." I have wanted to pierce an ear. Do you have any rubbing alcohol? She said, "Yes, I'll go get it." I cleaned the earring with the alcohol and the front and back of my left earlobe. I placed the wire hook to the front of my earlobe and shoved it through with a fair amount of pain. I heard a pop as it went through the front. It was followed by a pop as it passed through the back of the earlobe. Hooking the wire to itself, I saw a nice little silver cross hanging from my ear. After the hole healed, I found out that the ear I had done earlier was a clue for gay guys to let them know that you were also gay. I took the earring out and shoved it through the other ear. That is how I ended up with both of my ears pierced. Jane never liked it when I would wear a pair of earrings, saying that it was too feminine, and I would remove them to make her happy. I don't care about her happiness right now, my happiness is all that matters. I put the most feminine earrings that I had into both ears, looked at my new self in the mirror, and thought, not bad if I do say so myself. The more feminine I become, the more feminine I want to be. I knew I would not really be happy until I have done everything on my list. Not much else I can do, but wait, I could paint my fingernails and put on lipstick. I did my fingernails and applied lipstick to my lips. I lit a smoke and was quite pleased to see the red lip prints on the filter. I walked to the kitchen and got a soda from the fridge. Sitting down on a chair at the table, I realized that I had crossed my legs at the knees just as a woman would, and it was the most natural thing I have ever done. I finished my smoke and soda. Returning to heel practice, I went down the hall back to my bedroom. 2 round trips later, I stopped in the bedroom long enough to light a smoke. I looked down at the red lipstick on the filter as I held it between my ruby red fingernails and thought that is the way it should be, when I realized that I did not have any nail polish remover. I knew that I could not wear the polish at work. I could stop on the way to work in the morning and get some, but what if they did not have any at my normal stop? It would mean showing up at work with ruby red nails. I was not ready for that to happen, or I could drive out of the way to find some and be late. Not good either. 2 of the 3 outcomes were not good. I finished my smoke, sat on the bed thinking of what could go wrong in the morning, looked to see what time it was. 8:30 p.m., still early. There is a store not more than 2 blocks away and they don't close until 11 p.m. I could walk there and back in less than 10 minutes. I grabbed a $5 bill out of my billfold, stuck it into my pocket. I turned to the mirror, touched up my lipstick and left the bedroom. I crossed the hallway, went to the top of the stairs, put my smoke in my left hand, grabbed hold of the handrail with my right hand and went down the stairs for the first time. When I reached the bottom, I was glad that there was a handrail, if not I would have fallen down the stairs. Going down the stairs was a lot harder than walking the hallway, but I did make it. I went out the door and started to make my way to the store. I did not have to wait at the corner of my street, as it is a side street. However, when I got to 16th Street, I had to wait at the corner for the traffic to clear. While I was waiting, the driver of one of the cars that went past me honked his horn and another whistled at me. I crossed the street and made my way to the store. When I got there, a man held the door open for me. I found the nail polish remover and got a soda from the cooler, and went to pay for them. I asked the store clerk, "How much for this and a pack of Eve menthol 120s?" He said, $5.29 tax included. I said, "I'm a quarter short, so I guess I'll have to get my smokes on the way to work in the morning." He was about to put them back when a voice said, "Don't worry about it, I've got you covered." It was from the man that held the door open for me. I thanked him for his help. I asked the clerk for some matches and he informed me that he was out of free matches. I turned to leave, and my nice man came to my aid again and gave me a new lighter. I thanked him again and went towards the door, and he opened it for me. I stopped and was opening the pack of smokes. Just as I put a smoke to my lips, my nice man had his lighter in his hand and said, "May I offer you a light?" I said, "Yes, thank you." He told me his name was Tom and inquired if I needed a ride and asked me my name. I told him that I did not need a ride. I paused. I guess he was waiting for me to give him my name. Little did he know at that moment I did not have a woman's name to give him. I heard the name I would be known as. While he heard it, I said, "My name is Jenny." He told me that he often comes to this store and perhaps we would see each other again. I told him that we more than likely would, as I lived nearby. With that, we exchanged goodbyes and I walked back home. I made it home and very carefully went up the stairs. Upon reaching the top landing, I saw Scott and he said, "I thought I heard you leave, but I did not hear your car start up." I said, "I went to the store. I decided I could use the practice in my heels, if you want to talk. I'll be in the kitchen in a couple of minutes." I went to the bathroom, got some tissue and headed towards the kitchen. Scott was waiting when I got there. As I was trying to take the nail polish off my fingernails and having a hard time with process, Scott said, "My girlfriend uses cotton balls to do that job." I said, "Thank you for that useful bit of info. I'll have to pick some up. In the meantime, could you bring me the whole roll of tissue?" Scott returned with the roll and I ended up using more than I thought I would need. We talked for a while. I told him about my walk to the store, meeting Tom, and how nice he was, and that I decided that my name while I was dressed as a woman would be Jenny. Scott said, "Jenny is a nice name. By the way, Tom was flirting with you." I said, "Wow, I wasn't trying that hard to be a woman, I just wanted to make sure I did not act like a man." Scott said, "You need to be careful. It seems that it doesn't take much for you to come across as a woman. Now that I think about it, you never have been a real macho type." I said, "I know what you mean, at least I think I do. I never have felt that macho. I guess I have always known that I had to cover for my lack of masculinity. I hid behind the image of an easygoing, laid-back long-haired hippie. Remove that persona and I have to admit I am much more like a woman than I ever thought I could be or that I would admit to being." Scott said, "You're right. Take away that hippie persona and what's left is an impression of that girl with long hair. She has grown up into a woman and you are that woman and her name is Jenny." I said, "Still my friend, even if the concept for my list is so that I can give myself a reason to be the woman I now know myself to be." Scott said, "Don't understand, but I don't have to understand. I will be your friend always, but just your friend." I asked Scott, "Do you see a light bulb on over my head, you know, like in the cartoons when an idea pops into their head?" Scott replied, "No, I do not see a light bulb, life's not a cartoon. However, I can tell that there is a real difference in the way that you see yourself." Time for me to go to bed. I got up from the table, turned to Scott, told him thanks for the talk, and went to my room. As I sat on the bed removing my heels, took the earrings out of my ears, looked down at the fake breasts on my chest, and had to admit that I liked wearing them. I finished undressing, being careful not to let my breasts fall to the floor, and put them with my bra in the top drawer. I went to bed with mixed feelings. It took a long time to fall asleep. I kept coming back to the same thought: have I been trying to hide from myself? Morning came, and I felt that I had just fallen to sleep. I went to the bathroom. I thought about shaving my face and decided not to shave. It would be better to have some hair on my face the next time that I go out with Jane. I looked down at my legs and I realized that I could not take my pants off in front of Jane without her knowing that I had shaved my legs. I had some time to think of something. I hope it's good. I went back to my bedroom and got dressed for work. I got to work, checked my rubber tire roller out, water, oil and fuel levels are all right. I saw the foreman and asked him where I needed to go and roll. He said, "Take the right side of the road, you will see Edward when you get there. Lisa is waiting for you down there also. You were on time, but try to get here at 10 till 7 a.m, you know you have to check out your roller." I said, "Sorry, I did not look at the gas indicator in my car until this morning and I needed to stop and get some or I would have run out. I guess I will need to check it on the way home from now on or leave the house earlier." Bob laughed, then said, "You better check it on the way home, I don't see you getting up earlier." I agreed and went to find Edward and Lisa. The road project was 7.5 miles long with 3 interchanges, in total 6 on-ramps and 6 off-ramps. I found them 4 miles down the road. Edward was busy in his motor grader, so I said, "Good morning, Lisa, how much roadway today?" Lisa replied, "If you'd been here on time you would know, we are to do 0.5 mile today." I said, "I know, Bob told me 10 till 7 a.m. is starting time." I went on to explain why I was later than normal and that Bob had laughed at my reason. Lisa said, "I think I know why Bob laughed at your reason." She laughed herself. I could not stand it. I had to ask, why or what made my reason so funny that you both laughed at it? She said, "Not checking the gas gauge is something that is normally done by a woman. You do recall, 2 weeks ago, you ran out of gas on your way home, with that in mind it seems that you are as normal as a woman when it comes down to checking the gas gauge in her car. Now do you see why Bob laughed? At first, I could not believe it. I am as normal as a woman when it comes to checking the gas gauge in my car. I cannot let the truth upset me, after all it is my truth. So, I said, I guess that is funny. I am as normal as any woman when it comes to the gas in my car. Few minutes later Edward was finished, Lisa and I started our rolling. I would start by making 3 passes on the road, going over from left to the right. Then Lisa would use her roller, which had 1 big metal wheel in the front with 2 big rubber wheels in the rear where the engine was located. The front wheel vibrated to help compact the dirt. 9 passes to cover the roadway, and we had to make 3 complete trips from the left to the right. That means 2.5 miles forward and 2 miles in reverse at the top speed for this job of 5 miles an hour. Halfway through the first trip Edward would check to see if the road drying as it should. If it was, then 5 miles per hour would be fine, if not then down to 3 miles per hour. We were lucky today's speed would be 5 miles per hour. We should be done by lunch and have the state inspector check it out after lunch. If it went well we would move on to the next section, if not it would need to be ripped up, bladed over and re-rolled. We stopped for lunch. I rode with Bob. I found out early that if you rode with Bob, lunch was over when he felt like going back. On most days you could have a few extra minutes. I sat with Lisa. I always sit with her. It was like being with an older sister. It felt right. I was more at ease with her than with the guys. Judy, our waitress, came over to our table and said, "Know what you want today?" I said, "I'll have a grilled cheese and a glass of sweet tea." Lisa said, "That sounds good. I'll have the same." Then she laughed. Judy asked, "What's so funny?" Lisa smiled and said, "If you have a few minutes I'll tell you." Judy said, "I'll be back as soon as I turn your orders in." Judy returned in less than 1 minute, sat down and said, "What is so funny?" Lisa proceeded to tell her about my conversation with Bob this morning. After she had heard she laughed. They both did. Judy then turned to me and was about to say something, when the bell from the kitchen rang out. Judy got up and returned with our orders. After she gave us our sandwiches, she sat down, turned to me and said, "There is nothing wrong with your normal. For the other guys at the table over there it might be a problem, but for you it just seems right. It just never came up before. You chose to sit with Lisa, the only other woman on the job site." I thanked her, not knowing what else to say. I ate my lunch. Judy got up and went back to work. After we finished our lunch, Judy came back to clear our plates and asked us if we would like our tea to go. We said, "Yes, thank you." She came back with our tea. Lisa said, "Watch my tea while I go to the ladies." I said, "I will be glad to watch it for you." Judy sat down as Lisa got up and said, "If you need to talk, I stay at the motel next door, room 6. It's not every day that you find out that the you have been trying so hard to be is a mask, a cover for the you that others seem to see through, if they know what they are looking for." I said, "It would be nice to talk to someone. Could I come by after work today?" Judy said, "That would be okay. I'll see you after work." Lisa came back to the table and Bob was ready to go. We went back to work and I kept hearing the words that Judy had said, "the only other woman on the job site." At the time she said them I looked at Lisa and she smiled with a look that seemed to say that she knew more about me than I knew myself. I could not wait to get back to work and ask her about a few things that I had to know. When we got back to the section it had been approved. Edward was working on the next section. Lisa and I were going to have about 45 minutes of downtime. Now would be a good time for some questions. I said, "Lisa, there are a few things I need to know. Do you mind if I ask you about them?" She said, "Go ahead, I'll try my best to help." I gathered my thoughts and said, first, when Judy told me I was the other woman on the job site, you smiled at me like you already knew that. Second, would you be surprised to know that from the time I was 17 I wanted people to think I was a girl with long hair rather than cutting it short and have them know I was a boy? Lisa smiled and said, a woman knows a woman when she sees one. I'm not talking about male and female, that is really about reproduction. Boys normally grow up wanting to be like other boys and they become men. You wanted to be like a girl. You tried to look more like a girl by growing your hair long like a girl. I know both your ears are pierced and at times your fingernails are long as a woman would grow them. There are signs if you know what to look for, and no, I would not be surprised. I said, thank you very much for being so honest. Edward is coming over. I am not ready to put up a billboard, so could you keep that just between us? Lisa said, I have enjoyed you being the other woman on the job site even if you did not know that you were. What the men don't know won't hurt them. I told her thanks just as Edward told us the next section was ready to roll. We rolled that section of road the rest of the day. After we were done for the day, I went to my car and there was a note left by Bob. It read, check your gas gauge on the way home, Bob. I left work and went to the Leland Motor Inn, next to the cafe, and parked my car in front of room number 6. I knocked on the door, I heard footsteps, the door opened, and Judy said, I'm glad you came by to see me. She stood aside, and I entered the room. I looked around, just right for one. To the right along the back wall was a rack to hang clothes from with a shelf above it. In front of it and in between the front window was a small round table and 2 chairs. Next to the window a small fridge. Beside that a dresser. Across from it the bed. The headboard was at the rear wall with a nightstand in the other corner from the clothes rack. The 8-foot by 6-foot room with the door closed must be the bathroom. Made sense, wouldn't want the first thing someone to see be your bathroom. I said, this is a nice little room. Judy replied, yes, it is small but big enough for one. So, have had time to think about what I said to you at lunch. I told her about my talk with Lisa, her observations of, I guess you could say, my inner woman. Judy asked, does it bother you if people think you are a woman? I said, no, I know that to some people I look more like a woman than a man. It's a truth I have come to accept. Long hair like a woman, I'm short and my body size is more like a woman. The longer my hair got, the more times people would think I was a woman. Judy said, if you knew that you would start to look more like a girl, why grow your hair long like a girl? I said, my father lost the bet. She said, he lost what bet? I went on to explain about the bet. My father retired from the Army in 1970. We came back to the States from Germany and moved to Wilmington, North Carolina. My father and I often fought over the length of my hair. We had a real fight, coming to blows outside the Post barber shop. I gave up when I realized my hair would grow back. My father's Army buddies told him how stick the hair rules for boys at schools in NC. We got to NC around the 1st of June, and through the summer I kept seeing some boys with longer hair. I thought they must have new hair rules. The high school where I would start the 10th grade was 4.5 miles away. We did not have a car. While we were walking I came up with the bet, if I had to cut my hair for school, not only would I cut it, but also, I would join the junior ROTC. I could see my father. He was thinking, what if you don't have to cut it? I told him if I did not have to cut it, I would be the boss of my hair. He could ask me to cut it, but I would have the right to say no. He just knew from his friends that he was going to win the bet. He agreed to the bet. When we got to the high school and we were going through the enrollment, he was about to sign me up for junior ROTC when I said, just 1 minute, Dad, I need to ask about the school's hair rules. You should have seen the look on my father's face when he learned that he had just lost the bet and that I would be the boss of my hair. I turned to my father, looked him in the eyes and said, you lose, I win. On the way home, my father was upset that he lost the bet, but to his credit he was a man of his word. He always told me that your word was the only thing that no one could take from me. I could only give it, and when you give it you keep it. He kept his word, he kept asking me to cut it, but when I told him no, he would drop it. He never gave up asking. Gone were the days when over my hair he would say, "You will do as I say, or you will move out, my house, my rules." Judy said, "A bet, your life changed when you won that bet. Knowing what you now know, would you make the same bet?" I said, "I believe I would. I know that I have an important choice to make soon, and I am almost ready to make it." Judy said, "I can see that you seem to be happier, now that we have had a chance to talk. Do you have a plan?" I told her about Jane and the list. I went on to tell her that I had started on the list. She went to the little fridge and brought me a Coke and said, "Tell me more, I really would like to know you better." I said, "Okay, I really feel good to talking to you, you don't put me down for not being a real man." I told her about the shoe, the 5 and 10 stores, about the bra and foam breasts, how I got ready for my heel training, my first attempt at passing as woman when I went to the store, and meeting Tom. She went over to the clothes rack and got a skirt, handed it to me and said, "Take your shoes and socks off and put the skirt on, you can use the bathroom to change, I want to see you in that skirt." I went to the bathroom with the skirt in my hand. I did as she requested and returned to the main room wearing the skirt with my socks and my boots and jeans folded. She said, "I like what I see, you will look great when you finish your list. I love that color of polish on your toenails, it suits you. Only one thing I don't like, the stubble on your legs and face. When do you plan on waxing yourself?" I said, "I plan to wax the Friday, after next Friday." "Why do you want to know?" Judy said, "At the rate your hair grows you only need 3 days of growth, I will give you a razor to use, shave your face and legs." I told her how upset Jane gets when she sees me with my face shaved. She said, "You don't really think that she will admit she was wrong, do you?" I said, "No, she will more than likely says that she was right." Judy said, "Why be worried about how she feels about your shaving of your face, it is after all your face." I said, "You are right, I know that Jane and I will likely break up, I just wanted her to see me as a complete woman, head to toe, and know that she helped me to be all the woman I could be and not end it on her terms." Judy said, "I'll make you a deal, you shave for me now and I will help you with your upcoming wax job. You will have 3 days worth of stubble on your face, so Jane should have no reason to be mad." I said, "You've got a deal." I went to the bathroom and shaved. When I was done, I returned to the main room. Judy said, "Now that's more like it. You can have the skirt, it's too small for me. I would like you to wear it when you leave." I said, "I know I'm very new to the world of women's fashions, but I don't think it goes well with my boots." Judy said, "You are right, your feet are much smaller than mine, none of my shoes would fit. I do have something that would be better than your boots." She got a small pair of flip-flops, "These will show off your toenails." She was right, they looked great. I sat at the table and crossed my legs just like a woman. I lit a smoke and finished the Coke. I thanked Judy for guiding me on this new path, directing me towards my determined goal. I grabbed my boots and jeans, went to the car and drove home. I got home, went up the stairs and into my room. I was not thinking too clearly. I forgot my boots, socks and jeans in the car. I went to the mirror and took a good look at myself, the bright ruby red polish on my toenails and the skirt that Judy gave me. I knew that I was becoming more comfortable with being dressed as a woman out in public. After all, I did stop on the way home to buy some cotton balls for easy removal of the ruby red nail polish I was going to apply to my fingernails. I traded the flip-flops for pantyhose and high heels, took off my t-shirt and put on my bra, filling it with the foam breasts, covering them with a clean t-shirt. I put on my earrings and did my fingernails with ruby red polish, finishing with matching lipstick. Back to the mirror, I really like myself more as a woman, only partway with my list, and I feel like I have been waiting all my life certain that the reflection in the mirror is the appearance that I want to see, not only for myself, but for everybody that notices me, perceives a woman. I grabbed the pack of Eve Menthol 120s from the dresser drawer, put one of the smokes to my lips and lit it. It doesn't make any sense to buy one brand of smokes for work and around Jane and buy another brand for the rest of the time. The benefit from one brand would be less expenditure of cash. It would be worth considering. I thought about going down to the car and getting my work boots, but they would still be there in the morning. I decided to leave them in the car. I would wear my heels to work and change into my work boots when I got to work. I would be beneficial to extend my heel training to driving my car. Besides, I could pick my dress up from the 5 and 10 store wearing my heels. I'm sure that Tina would like to see me in them. Tina was right about high heels. The more you wear them, the better you get in them. I now have no problem wearing high heels around the house. The stairs are still a challenge. Tonight will be spent going down the stairs and back up them. At least 3 trips, down and up, then a break will be in order. After the 3rd trip, I went to the kitchen to take a break. Scott was there and said, "Here's something I thought I would never hear myself say to you. That skirt looks nice on you. Want some soup?" I said, "Thank you, and I will have some soup." I sat down at the table to have some soup. I told Scott about my day and the insight that both Lisa and Judy shared about my inner woman. Scott said, "The other woman on the job site, wow, all this time and they just now tell you. Maybe they thought that you knew and did not want to make it an issue." I said, "That could be it, or they were waiting for me to, as people say, wake up and smell the coffee." We both laughed at that. After we finished our soup, I got up to return to my stair training. Scott asked, "If you would like to get a little break in between your down and up, I was going for a walk around the block, you could join me." I said, "That's a great idea, you don't mind being seen with me, out in public." He replied, "You look enough like a woman, so I don't see a problem. It's okay for you to let that inner woman out in public. Soon your outer and inner woman will be one. When that happens, we'll be able to split one back in 2. Think about that. Ready to go for our walk, Jenny?" I said, "You remembered my name, let's go on our walk." We made our way down the stairs out the door and started to make our way around the block. We talked mostly about nothing. Not all conversations are deep and profound. Making our way back to the house, up the stairs, I went to my room to get the nail polish remover and cotton balls and went to the kitchen. I had already cleaned the nails on my left hand when Scott entered the kitchen. He said, "I see you have gotten wise and got cotton balls." I said, "It is much quicker and easier with the cotton balls, so, thank you for the tip." He said, "Glad to be of some help to you. I don't think I have any more tips though. Have you thought about our earlier conversation?" I replied, "Yes, I have to admit that I am not sure I could make the split. My preference would be to be Jenny for the rest of my life. However, I can't rush into a new life as a woman without planning for it thoroughly." He said, "Think it through and do what you feel will be best for yourself. The choice you make should make you happy." I said, "Make a choice based on happiness. Wouldn't want to go through life with a bad case of the what-ifs." "I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow." I made my way to my bedroom and got ready for bed. Tomorrow was going to be a big day for me. At least after work would be a huge change in my outlook on life. Thursday morning here at last. The last 2 days seems to have taken a week. I started to get my clothes for the day ready: jeans, underwear, a blue t-shirt, socks and my work boots. Where are my boots? I put on my bathrobe and started to look around for them, in the wardrobe, under the bed, around the bed and in the kitchen. No, and no. I started the coffee maker. It seems that I beat Scott to the kitchen this morning. It was on my way to the bathroom when I realized where my boots are. I left them in the car. On my way back to my bedroom, I stopped in the kitchen, made myself a cup of coffee and took it with me. I lit a smoke and a couple of sips of coffee. I remembered my plan from last night, all of it. I decided to add to the plan. I would also be taking my nail polish with matching lipstick, bra and foam breasts, earrings and the blue jean skirt. No need for the socks or the underwear. I would be wearing pantyhose instead under my jeans. I got dressed in my work clothes, put my high heels on, lit a smoke and went to the kitchen to get a coffee refill. I sat down at the table to finish my smoke and drink my coffee. I heard Scott before I saw him. He said, "I don't think you should be wearing high heels to work." I laughed then said, "Good morning to you too. By the way, my boots are in the car. Could you grab me a bag from the third down on the right side of the sink? I need it for my change of clothes for after work." As Scott handed me the bag, he said, "Here you go, one bag, high heels and a change of clothes for after work." "Wait, I've got it. You pick up your dress today." I thanked him for the bag, finished my smoke and coffee and headed to my room. I carefully packed my change of clothes with extras. I drove to work. It was different driving with high heels on, not as difficult as the stairs but challenging in its own manner. I was glad I would be able to practice my driving with heels on. I made it to work earlier than normal. The best spots went fast. I would have to park with my car in the sun on most days, but not today. My car would be in the shade all day. I was worried that the heat from the sun would melt my lipstick. I traded my heels for work boots and went to do the morning check of my rubber tire roller. It was 1/2 quart of oil low, the water was fine, and it could use some fuel. I took stock of my smokes for the day. I always seem to run low, close to out on Thursdays. Only 3 left from the pack that everybody has seen me smoke. I did bring 12 in the open pack of Eve menthol 120s and a full pack of Eves. I had left the Eves in the car, so I needed to get the open pack for sure. I grabbed them and made my way back to my machine. The service truck was there when I got back. I told him what it needed. He checked it out himself. He did that all the time to me. Everybody started to arrive, and the place was soon roaring with the sound of the large road equipment. I saw Lisa and went over to say good morning to her. We were chit-chatting when Bob said, "Enough morning gossip, both of you need to come over here. I want to say this only once." Lisa and I looked at each other, speculating to ourselves, did we do something wrong or does he want us to do something? When we got close, Bob continued, "First, great job on the subsoil. I ordered the road stone which they must mix to order, based on your work. Now for the bad news, there will be a 3-hour delay in the stone arriving today. You know that the stone must be worked within 48 hours of delivery. Half the stone will be here today and the other half tomorrow. There will not be time to finish unless we work till dark today, or if you could work a half day on Saturday." I said, "Lisa and I will be deliberating over by our rollers. Give us a couple of minutes, please." Bob said, "I'll be over in 5 minutes." Lisa and I walked over to our rollers. I turned to her and said, "Please, if there is any way that we could work Saturday morning, I really need to pick up my dress after work today. I told Tina I would be by to get it, please." Lisa looked at me and smiled, saying, "On one condition, I get to come with you." When Bob came over, I said, "Lisa and I will work Saturday morning. We have made plans for after work and it is too late to change them." Bob said, "Okay, starting time will be 0600, don't be late. Edward will be in charge on Saturday. He knows what your section will be until the stone arrives today. He is at the far end of the job, go see him. 7 miles at 15 miles per hour, we will be there in about 35 minutes. I turned to Lisa and said, "Thank you for agreeing to work on Saturday." We left the equipment yard and started to go down the road to meet up with Edward. He was on the other side of the roadway, working on the on-ramp. He waved to us to go over to him. When we got over to him, he said, "Go over these 7 runs per trip. do 5 trips then go over to the other side and I should have it ready for you. We nodded affirmation and I asked him, do you have any water? He said, no, but I will have some brought here. Start your runs, we need to finish these 2 ramps by the time the stone gets here. He left to go to the other side of the roadway and Lisa and I began our job. Around 30 minutes later George showed up with the water. I was glad to see him as it can get hot very quickly in NC near the end of May. George told me to keep up with the water cooler and to tell Edward if we would need any more water. I waved Lisa over to take a water break. I said, at lunch, I need to ask Judy if it would be all right with her to use her room after work. I have brought a change of clothes with me and I would like to pick my dress up as a woman. Lisa said, she should not be bothered, after all, we both feel like big sisters to you, so if we can help our little sister, we will. Edward is looking at us, we better get back to work. We did not stop again until we were done with the ramp and moved over to the other side. We took a quick break for water and went right back to work. The stone arrived at 1100 and we had 2 runs left to finish this ramp. Edward came over and said, not bad, finish this up then drive your rollers to the equipment lot and go to lunch. 10 minutes later we were on our way to lunch. I drove us to lunch. Lisa noticed my heels on the floorboard of the back seat but did not say anything at the time. We sat down in Judy's section. She took our orders and returned with them. I asked her, would it be all right if I came over after work to change my clothes before I pick my item up at the 5 and 10 store? Lisa will be joining me, is that okay? Judy said, no problem, however, I will be joining the both of you. Then she smiled and winked at me. Lisa smiled as she softly said, what fun it will be your first girls' night out. I thought to myself, how lucky am I to have women that want to be my big sisters. We finished lunch and returned to work. When we work stone, Lisa starts first then I follow. A lot of other things go on to get to that point, I'll tell you later about that. Lisa and I, both could hardly wait for quitting time to get here. At last it was quitting time. Lisa told Tony, he was the man that gave her a ride to and from work, that I would be giving her a ride home today as we have something we had planned to do. I drove us to Judy's room and Lisa said, I'll take your heels and bag in for you. I was going to tell you at lunch that think these heels are hot. I thanked her and knocked on the door. Judy opened the door and said, come on in, I've been looking forward to this, since you asked to come by at lunch. Lisa smiled and said, First Ladies' Night Out, should be fun for our little sister. Look at these. She held up my heels for Judy to see. Judy said, I like those heels, you do have good taste in high heels, and what do you need to do? I said, I would like to use your bathroom and shave and change into what I have to wear. Do you have a blouse I could lend me, one that would go with that jean skirt you gave me? Judy said, yes and yes, I do have a blouse that would go very well with that skirt and I hate to admit it, but it doesn't fit me too well anymore. I like to think that it has shrank, while I may have gained a little weight. Judy handed me a nice multicolored blouse. I thanked her and went to the bathroom with my bag and heels. When I came out, they both agreed that I looked much better than when I got here. I walked over to the table, crossed my legs and thanked them for the compliment. Lisa asked if I had anything else with me to use. I put my ruby red nail polish and lipstick on the table and said, just this. Lisa grabbed the nail polish saying, I want to do your nails, and started to shake the bottle. Judy must have felt left out and went to the bathroom, returned and sat down at the table. After Lisa had finished my nails, Judy said, I'm going to shape your eyebrows, not thin them, that I will do later. I said, okay, I trust you. When she was done, I looked at what she had done. They were much better than before. I put my lipstick on, lit a smoke and walked over to the full-length mirror. I liked what I saw. I walked back to the table and thanked both. I grabbed my boots, jeans and t-shirt and put them in the bag. I picked up my nail polish and lipstick and said, "My name is Jenny and I am so thankful for big sisters like you too. I really need a purse." Lisa and Judy both said, "No doubt, Jenny is definitely a woman and she wants a purse." Judy said, "Let's go and get that dress. You do realize that you will have to model it for us." I said, "It will be my pleasure." I grabbed my bag and we got into my car. The next stop would be the 5 and 10 store. When we got there, I was lucky to find a parking space near the front door. We made our way to the ladies' department. I saw Tina. I waited for her to be done with the customers she was helping. When she was done, she came up to us and said, "How may I help you ladies?" I looked at her and said, "I'm here to pick up a dress that I put on layaway. It was Monday when you helped me." She looked lost for a moment and said, "Girl, you had me fooled. I could not place you. You were by yourself and all I saw at first was 3 women in the ladies' department. I thought I would remember you. You were going to come by today. I'll go get your dress." Lisa looked at Judy then me and said, "Did you see what just happened? Do you need any more proof? Your confirmation is Tina thought that you were just another woman. Do the math as they say, 1 woman plus 2 women equals 3 women." I said, "I know you're right. Look, here comes Tina with my dress. I promise we will go into greater detail, comprehensive total look at where I am at and where I am going, but for now I just want to put on my dress." Judy said, "Lisa, give Jenny a little more time. I am sure she will arrive at the same place that we are total womanhood." Tina said, "You 2 ladies wait over here. I'll help Jenny into this dress and send her out to model it for you." Tina said, "Come over here, Jenny. We'll use changing room 1. I went to the room that she had said to go to. She complimented me on my outfit. I told her that I got it from Judy. I got out of my outfit and into my dress. I said to Tina, "Somehow, it seems to look better today." She replied, "You're what makes it look better. You're more woman than you were Monday. Now go show your friends." I went out of the changing room to where Lisa and Judy were waiting. I walked to them and I hoped that they thought that it looked as good as I thought. They agreed that both the dress and I looked great. I introduced Lisa as a coworker and Judy as the waitress from the cafe and that they both were like my big sisters. Tina said, "Glad to meet you both. It seems that Jenny has more confidence in herself as a woman. You both are doing a great job as big sister." I told Tina to cut the tag off the dress as I would wear it when I left. I said, "I did not want to take it off Monday. Tonight, I don't have to." We all laughed at that. I told Tina not to forget to add the charge for the bra and foam breasts. She winked at me. Tina said, "The dress, minus layaway and the other 2 items, the total will be $37.50. Anything else I can do for you today?" I said, "A purse or makeup? I don't think I can afford both right now. I am trying to make up my mind." Judy said, "I can help you with that choice. I have a purse that would look great with that dress and your heels. So now let's look at the makeup." I said, "Thank you, Judy. I would be lost without you and Lisa." I started to reach to my back pocket when Lisa handed me my wallet. I thanked her and paid Tina. Cosmetic area would be the next stop. When we arrived at the cosmetic area, I tried real hard to think of what Tina had told me about makeup on Monday. Lisa said, "Okay, Jenny picks out what you think you need." I went around putting what I could remember: base, compact, blush, mascara, eyebrow pencil, eyeshadow, and eyeliner. I hope I got the right shades. I'm impressed. Only one thing that you don't have: lip liner for that hot and sexy look. This one will be fine. It will go with color and shades that you picked out," said Lisa as she placed it in the makeup basket. I paid $38.79 for the makeup and we went back to Judy's room. When we got there, Judy said, "Bring in your makeup, Lisa, and I will give you a quick tutorial. Simple and quick, just your basic face, everyday type of face." I grabbed my last pack of Eve Menthol 120s and my makeup. I love the sound of that my makeup and went into Judy's room. I went to the table and sat down, opened my pack of smokes and lit one. Judy said, "Jenny, that's a good choice, but it is a brand that mostly women smoke." "Let me see the makeup." Judy did my base and compact powder and Lisa did my mascara and blush. I looked at my face and I was quite pleased with what they called an everyday face. Something still looked a little off. I wasn't quite to the "there is a woman in the mirror." Lisa picked up on my distress and knew what to say. "It's your eyebrows. Once they are thinner and arched, you will have a face any woman would be proud of having." Judy got the purse from the dresser and I started to put some of the makeup in one part of the purse. When I got to the compact, I opened it and did a touch-up to my lips with my lipstick. Lisa said, "You do that like it's what you have done for years, more natural, instinctive. It's time for me to go and you're my ride." I said, "Okay, let me get my stuff and I'll meet you at the car." Lisa left to meet me at the car. I started to gather up my stuff and Judy stopped me. "I'm coming with you, so you will be back here, you can get it then." I did put my smokes in my slightly used purse and we went to the car. The ride to Lisa's place only took a few minutes. I didn't know that she lived so close by. I told Lisa I was very grateful that we would work on Saturday. "I really like this dress." She said, "I see why you did not want to take a chance that it would be put back. It's a very nice dress. See you in the morning." I started to drive back to Judy's room. I was about to turn into the parking lot. She said, "Keep going, let's go get something to eat. We can go through the drive-thru at Hardee's. It's just a left at the stoplight and 3 blocks on the right." We ordered 2 burgers, 2 fries and 2 Cokes and were on our way. In no time we were back at her room. We went inside, sat at the table to eat and to talk. I told her about Scott's theory of my inner woman and the outer woman I was turning myself into. When the two merge into one, when that happens, would I be able to split back into what I was, or would I choose to remain as one woman? If my choice was to live as a woman, it would mean that I would no longer be James. He would be my past and Jenny would be my future. Judy said, "Your friend seems to be able to get right down to hard truth that I did not know how to tell. Your predilection is beyond question. You are mentally a woman. You could try to hide it from others, or a unification of the mind and the body." Not the same words, but true to the facts. I said, "I've not been very good at hiding my mental identification from you and Lisa. Hold on, I think I know how to try to ease my mind. I am terrified that when I decide who I am, I already know." Judy said, "So Jenny, you have made your choice. What is it?" I said, "I am a woman in a man's body. I have tried all my life to hide from that truth. I can't fake being a man much longer. I have a plan on how to start my life as Jenny without the fear of termination from work, but I will need your help and I will also need help from Lisa. How does this sound? The only man at work that needs to really see me for the woman I am inside is the one that could fire me. If you bring up some of the things that I do that are more in line with being a woman, maybe if you tell him, if he sees me as an easygoing, long-haired hippie, take that persona away, and what are you left with? That I mind. Tell him to ask Lisa, as she has spent more time around Jamie. You could say James just doesn't fit with what you see. Try to plant the seed of doubt, my lack of macho. Tell him if he can see any of what you or Lisa see, then to tell Jamie that Judy the waitress wants to see him. What do you think? Could it work? One way or another, in 10 days I will be Jenny, living as a woman with this job or looking for one." Judy said, "That could work. If you start to become more feminine with your behavior, it will be easier for Bob to pick up the demeanor. I'll show you how to be feminine with your hand gestures, and don't uncross your legs at the knee when you see the guys come into the cafe. You want them to perceive your feminine traits." I said, "You're right. I need to let myself be freely feminine at all times, even when I am not at work. That means I should start to buy only one brand of cigarettes, such as Eve Menthol 120s. Appropriate choice for a woman, Judy said. By doing that you will be saying that you prefer to smoke the same brand of cigarettes that woman would choose to buy and smoke. I said, it's time I went home. Thanks for having dinner with me, and I will see you in the morning. I got my stuff together and went to my car. I drove home with a stop at the gas station, gas for the car and a carton of Eve menthol 120s for me. I got home and went upstairs with my stuff. Putting my stuff in my room, I went to the kitchen. Scott said, "You look great, that must be the dress you were talking about, and you are right, it is a nice dress." I said, "Thank you, you're not saying that just to be nice." He replied, "No, you really do look good, and if you did not I would tell you. I have something to tell you and would like to hear what you think. Let me get the nail polish remover," I said as I went to my room. When I returned to the kitchen, Scott was waiting to hear what I had to say. I started to remove the nail polish from my fingernails. I said, "I will be changing my everyday appearance over the next few weeks from masculine to feminine. As my appearance changes, my persona will also change. I thought I would give notice as to what I plan to do." I told Scott about my plan to change the opinion of Bob at work. Scott said, "That may work, or it could cause you to lose your job." I said, "I know that there is a risk, but if I do nothing when I show up as a woman I would lose my job for sure. There is a chance that I could persuade Bob, and he is the only one that really matters. I have to try." I finished cleaning the nail polish off my nails and went to bed. I woke up and, doing what I normally do, got coffee and lit a cigarette. I sat at the kitchen table thinking on how I would change my appearance. After some thought on the matter, my declaration of feminine persona would start with wearing earrings. I went to the bathroom to shave my face and the rest of daily routine. On my way back to my room I got another cup of coffee. After I got dressed I decided on a pair of small gold tone hoop earrings. I put one through each ear and looked at them in the mirror and thought to myself, no turning back, that is to say you can't unring a bell, and once they see you at work with a pair of earrings they will know that there is a change, and if everything goes well my plan could work. I put together a change of clothes for after work. I wanted to take my dress, but I did not want to wear it out, so I took the skirt and blouse. I drove to work, stopping at the cafe to see Judy and let her know that I had begun my plan. I did not have to tell Judy, she knew as soon as she saw my earrings. She said, "I like those earrings and they will help to change how the other will start to see you. You have my help." I thanked her and asked if I could come by after work. She told me it would be okay. I got a cup of coffee to go and went the rest of the way to work. I was checking my roller out when Lisa showed up. She told me that Judy had told her about my plan and that she would do whatever she could to help. I thanked her for her willingness to help me. I asked, "Do you know anyone that would have some slacks and blouses that would fit me?" Lisa replied, "I believe I do know a few girls that may have some clothes that would fit you." I said, "That would be great, it would help me to change the point of view that the others have of me." I told her my dress size and shoe size, anything that I could get would really help.